How's it going, everyone? This is Nathan from Nathan's DIY Garage, and today I'm going to show you how to do daily routine maintenance on your BMW. Okay, so there's a few things you need to do with these cars when you drive them on the daily basis, if you daily drive them. You need to check several things out. This is pretty much every day you need to do this. The very first thing you need to do is look underneath. If you park on concrete, you need to look underneath for any kind of leaks when you come out in the morning you get in it. Make sure nothing new is happening. You want to look for antifreeze or oil. Start off with that. Every day that I'm driving one of these, I'll go through, open the hood before I even start it, and I'll check the coolant. Now the coolant, there's two different options here. You take the lid off and you can see that the little plunger is up. It's all the way up, so it's full, but as you can see here, it's still down in there. It's about 3 inches down. That's fine. I don't particularly like to run them like that. I like to top them off where it's right towards the top. I like that option a little bit better. If you're noticing you have to add to it every few days, a coffee cup or even more, you have a leak. So once you check the coolant and verify that's good, and also when you go to add to this, guys, if this thing is really low and you know you have a leak, when you fill it back up, you need to take the air bleed out when you're filling it up and make sure there's no more air in the system. If not, when you start it up, what's going to happen, you'll take off driving down the road, the gauge will go in the red, you'll have an air bubble in it. So that's one thing to be aware of on the coolant. The next thing I like to do, you don't have to do this every day. I do it at least once a week. Take the power steering off, look down in it, make sure it's good. This one is a little bit low. It's not showing on the stick, but you can't see it in there. It's been like this for a while. Need to add just a little bit to it. That won't keep you from driving, but that will definitely run your pump if that runs dry. The next thing is check your oil. The BMWs, they have a double O-ring on the dipstick. That makes them a little hard to pull out. You got to jerk it a little bit to get it out of there. Okay, you want to check your oil and make sure it's up to the second mark on the dipstick. And you see there's two marks, and the one, I can't really point to it as I'm, let me see here. So the second mark on my right here, the second notch, is the full. The next one down is the add mark. So you want to make sure it's in between the full and add, preferably on the second add mark all time. Put that guy back in there and make sure he's snapped in like that. The next thing, just like any car, you want to look at all the tires. You don't necessarily have to check them. You at least take a look at them. If they look low, check them. At least once a week or once every other week, you need to go ahead and check the pressures in them and make sure they're not low. That can cause you a terrible issue on the highway. And of course, the next thing is whenever you're driving the car, just be aware of it. If you start hearing anything clanking in the front, when you hit bumps, you're hearing clunking noises, you're turning the corner, you hear something creaking and cracking, you need to go ahead and get that checked out right away. Don't wait on it. That could cost you a lot more money in the long run, or even if you're having some kind of bad failure, it could definitely get you killed on the interstate. And one other thing under the hood here we're going to listen for, if you hear any noises like a squeaky belt, anything like that on a BMW, that could be a pretty bad problem. That could be your pulley getting ready to come apart, which in turn could derail your belt that goes and drives your water pump, which can in return run your engine. That's another thing to look out for. Other things to look out for are drive line. The drive line in the back, the drive shaft bearings. If you hear any noise accelerating from the rear, a chirping sound, anything like that, definitely get checked out immediately. And the next thing, of course, is watch your gauges. Mainly your temperature gauge. This thing needs to be in the middle at all times. It needs to be peaking right at the little boat symbol. Straight up and down is where it needs to be, maybe slightly to the left. If it's ever over that, guys, something is wrong. Most of these cars, when they go into the red, as the light comes on, there is no audible bell. There is nothing that you're going to be able to hear. You always need to keep an eye on that. Also, check engine lights, ABS lights. Be aware of any of that. That could possibly be something going wrong. That's pretty much all, guys. This is just the daily routine maintenance. This should be done almost every day. The more you're aware of what your car is doing, the more you're aware of your car, how it works, the better off you're going to be driving these cars, or in fact driving any car, not just a BMW.